All right, what is up, guys? Welcome back to Late Night Shots Podcast, episode 103. Today we have 2022 national finalist for Nebraska, Ridge Lovett. So, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
We're doing all right.
Great,
Yeah.
man.
So, before we get into this episode, Derek has a quick word from our sponsors.
As all of you know, we are sponsored by Body Art Nutrition. You could use code HWTN20 at checkout to save 20% off your order off all products. That'll be linked in the description. You could use code HWT15 at defensesoap.com to get 15% off your order. That's also linked in the description. And on the Heavyweight Nation page, you could find our current giveaway. We're giving away 2 bestseller boxes from Defense Soap to all of you guys. So that'll be in our Instagram. And then you could use the link down below to get 25% off a liquid IV. Use the link in the description.
All right, good job. But, getting right into it. So, you made the national finals this year as a 10 seed. So, first question I think I got was, what's your mindset going into a tournament, as a 10 seed with, after your performance at Big Tens?
So my mindset was the same for Big Tens and Nationals. I went into both expecting to win. I felt I was prepared to win, and obviously Big Tens and National. It didn't happen either, but coming out of Big Tens, being the 10 seed, a lot of people were asking me like, was that motivation? Like being the 10 seed, was that motivation to you? Like they were sleeping on you or whatever? But to me, I viewed the 10 seed as just my spot in the bracket. Everybody was tough. I knew I was going to have tough matches. I saw my draw when it came out, and I was like, you know what? Like, it's tough. That's a tough first round match. He's a returning All American. And I looked at it, and my mindset didn't change. It was the same. I'm going in here to win. And I try to go into every match with the same mindset, just expecting to win and just performing the way I do.
Yeah. So, I think going like faster at the beginning of the season, Cliff Keen, you have that crazy overtime match with Yanni. Coming into that, I remember watching your interview after Nationals. You were like, Yanni wrestled a perfect match and whatever. After you had that crazy run to get to the finals, you're going to see him again next year. So, what are you thinking going into that?
For going forward, obviously I need to work. I don't know if he's so good at finishing when he gets to the legs. So I think that my like initial defense in hand fighting needs to get better. And I definitely need a way to get to his legs. Finishing is a whole nother problem, but getting there's tough enough. So finding a shot that will be a go-to that I can hit on everybody and developing multiple ways to finish that, I think those two will be the biggest difference maker in that match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, had a very impressive performance at Nationals. You had a big win in the semifinals to punch your ticket. I mean, what's going through your mind, knowing you're getting another shot at Yanni? You hear obviously he dominated his way through his top side of the bracket. So what was that like for you knowing, after everything that happened and, the last time you guys wrestled, what was it like figuring out, okay, now I'm going to wrestle him for, the end all be all of the national final?
It was cool. Like Yanni's been a big name in the sport for a while now. I was in high school watching him in national finals when he was wrestling McKenna and Meredith. Yep, he was wrestling those guys, and so I've been a Yanni fan for a while. So it was cool that I was gonna be there to wrestle him. But then again, it was even like after Vegas, I wasn't like really a fan anymore. I was like, well, like I'm a competitor now, so it was cool to get to wrestle him there. Like when we talk about like visualization all the time, it's such a big part. And like when I would meet with my sports psychologist, and we would talk about it, and like I had already like visioned myself being there. I didn't know I was gonna wrestle Yanu, obviously, because anything can happen. But that's who I was expecting to wrestle in the finals when I kind of did the bracket, wrestled it out in my head. So I saw it coming, but it was definitely cool. It was an awesome experience.
Yeah. So, a big thing when we were talking to your teammate, Christian Lance, he said, I think a couple days before the national tournament, you would write down your biggest fear something for the tournament, like on a sheet of paper, and you would burn it after. He said he put down, "I'm afraid that I'm a seventh year senior. I won't be able to get on the podium this year." And then he says that you put down, "My fear is that I'm overconfident." So talk about that a little bit.
Like, yeah. So, like I knew like this is like one of the things. I don't agree with everything that AJ Ferrari does. Some of his stuff's a little out there, but his self-confidence is next level. It's different. So I like that was something big that like I've tried to take from him is like knowing, like instilled that there's no doubt in my mind that I'm going to be a national champ. I'm going to be there. I'm going to do everything that I can to prepare myself, and when the moment comes to get that done, to achieve those goals, and knowing that I've done all the work already that I needed to do. So now it's just finishing the job, you know? So there was a piece of me that was like, well, like maybe I'm too confident, like, and I feel like that kind of caught up with me at Big Tens. Like I was wrestling Gomez, like we had a tight one in the duel. I didn't think that I wrestled great in the duel. I'm like, you know what, we're good. I'm gonna run through him, and he picked me up and dropped me on my head real quick. But that was kind of where I was like a little shaky, like maybe I am a little overconfident, like. But no, confidence is key, and I felt like that was a big reason, an important reason as to why I made it. I did what I did.
Yeah. I know Gomez was a big one you were probably looking forward to in the national tournament, like the way it ended at Big Tens. You were somewhat set on the course to see him at the semis if he didn't get upset by Indonian. So, you pull that crazy pin over Tariq Wilson, like what's kind of going through your head then? Because like the other match go at the same time as you. You don't know who you have next round.
Yeah. So after that match with Tariq, I was fired up. I was hype. I stuck him. It was crazy loud in there, and I popped up. Went over, high five my coaches, raised my hand and stuff. Did that whole thing, and then I went over back to the corner, and me and Manning sat down in the chairs real quick because Indonian and Gomez were wrestling on the other mat. And I watched it for about 5 seconds, and I was like, I don't even want to watch. I don't care. I'm running through this kid too. Like, let's just get in the back, get the cool down. Like, I'm good to go. I don't care who wins. So, I mean, I don't really know. I didn't care who won. I was ready to wrestle whoever, but another one with Gomez would have been nice to get that one back.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I mean, obviously, taking a quite unexpected, heartbreaking loss at Big Tens, coming into nationals, I'm sure, I mean, no matter how confident you are, I'm sure that kind of took a little bit of a hit at you, everything that happened at Big Tens, going into nationals. So what was kind of, that 2 weeks, you had to prepare? What was that kind of like for you, in that little break you had, kind of getting yourself mentally, back on track after, not quite getting where you wanted to be at Big Tens?
Yeah, with the Big Tens one, I shook it off. Like after the match, it was almost hard to be like frustrated or like mad with myself, like mad at my performance because of the way that it happened. And I just kind of shook it off. It was just like you know what, that sucks. Like, don't let the guy get double underhooks. But I shook that one right off. I didn't really let it phase me. Those 2 weeks were about just refining the skills, just sharpening up, just that last little push, and then just getting the rest of the way ready. I didn't really take my performance at Big Tens as I felt I wrestled well. I felt, or at least okay,
Yeah.
for the most part at that tournament. But I feel like those next 2 weeks were definitely really good, really important. But I didn't really use my Big Ten performance to define my next 2 weeks of training.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I
on
mean,
my story, I put up a couple questions. The poll, people asked a couple questions, so I'm looking through them. No, I don't think we talked about this yet. No, after your semifinal match with Indonian, you hit that pose. It was pretty much everywhere for a while. I think even I posted it. But what kind of goes through your head before doing that, and what's your response to people who say stuff about it?
So it started on Snapchat. I posted on Snapchat one day. I was roommates with Kevon Davenport, and we went and got breakfast somewhere. And it was a spot that like nobody knows about, and they had some fire crepes. It was crazy. So I posted on my story, and I was doing the foot kick. I don't remember what I said. Something about like this is exclusive, or I said something dumb. But the foot kick was the funny part. And Tyler Berger hated it for some reason. I don't know why, but he would always slide up, and he would talk trash to me. And then at Big Tens last year in the quarters, when I was after I beat Mirren, I looked over and I saw him, and it was just the first thing that popped in my head was just like, do the pose, like that would be so funny.
Yeah.
So I did the peace signs, my tongue out, and then I didn't do it again until nationals. And before that match, I was talking with CJ when we were in the tunnel. He's like, bro, you need to bring the foot kick back. You need to bring your peace signs out. I was like, you know what? I got you. After I went in the semis, I got you. So then that happened. I won in the semis, did the pose, and it blew up way bigger than the first time. But the stage is bigger. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't really, when the
Yeah.
people are talking trash and stuff, I really don't care. Like we were talking about earlier, it's like, you're hating from outside the club. You're not out there wrestling. You don't even have the opportunity to do that. So it's like you can hate if you want, but I really don't care. It doesn't bother me. I thought it was.
Did you cut out or?
Huh?
You might have at the end. Never mind. I think we're good. But the last question that we didn't talk about was who wins the match, you or Gable Stevenson with both of his arms tied behind his back?
Oh, that's me. That's me for sure. He
What do
can't
you think
snap me
this-
down and go behind. I'm golden.
What do you think the score is?
Well, shoot, no arms. I'm for sure gonna ride him. I might even turn him. It depends. He's gonna have to choose down, or I don't know. We're gonna have to see. I don't think he's gonna take me down though.
I think the thing
Yeah.
is like, how's he gonna get up from bottom if you can't stand up with like?
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
He
that
can't-
man's a freak of nature. You know he could probably get up without his hands.
I mean,
no
yeah,
shot. I'm riding him the whole
I mean-
time with no hands.
Oh
No, that's-
yeah.
I was tied behind his back.
Yeah, you got those. Yeah, slip one right in, up and over, turn them.
That's a
Yeah.
straight up double arm bar right away. Both arms behind his back. No way.
I mean they're tied. You can't touch them.
So is it like, are they like duct taped to his sides, or like what are we looking at here?
I mean his
He doesn't
his
have
arms are like a
He doesn't
non-factor.
have arms.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Okay,
doesn't have
no
arms. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that's me all the way.
I feel like you could just like snap him down though.
Yeah.
Right? That's his go-to fake snap. Well, he has
Yeah.
no arms to snap, and he can't shoot. I'm golden. That's all me.
There's no fakes either. There's
Right? Bonus points. I'm getting
so
bonus.
I think we got to touch on this a little bit. When we talked to Christian Lance, your teammate, you know, we kind of came to the conclusion that we refer to you now as the Justin Bieber of the NCAA wrestling world, because he told us at nationals, you know, he was sitting in the stands with I think his girlfriend and his family, and a group of girls came up to him wearing your merchandise and were asking him, "Where's Ridge Lovett? We want Ridge Lovett. Where's Ridge Lovett? We want to see Ridge Lovett. We want to meet Ridge Lovett. We want pictures with Ridge Lovett." What's that kind of like for you, you know, with all these fans out there? You know, you see people wearing your t-shirts. Shout out, we actually are all, we use the same merchandise company. So shout out Chain Wrestling.
It's cool. Like at the duels, when people like when Thompson was first doing it and he was wrestling, it was cool. Like I look over, I see people wearing the AT shirts, and then my stuff came out, and then when like people are coming up to me and I'm signing my face on their shirt, I was like, this is dope, dude. This is awesome. Like it was cool just seeing the love, them showing the support. And at nationals, it was cool too, because like it wasn't just my Nebraska people, you know, it wasn't just the fans that I see every week. It was people that I've never met that are just fans from other places. And it was like, you know what, this is dope. Like, these people know my name. So like, especially after the finals, when I was walking up at the top, people were taking pictures with me doing the pose. They had the shirts, hats, socks. I was like, this is lit. It was super dope. Just getting
That's
to see all the people showing the
I
support.
feel like that's gonna be such a surreal moment. Like I talked to him about this, like before like our page even blew up. randomly I was like hanging out with my friends in like we were in a Dick's Sporting Goods, and this like little boy comes up to me and he's like, "Do you do the Heavyweight Nation YouTube videos?" I was like, "Yeah, I do." Like, what's up? He's like, "Can I take a picture with you?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." Like at the time we had like maybe 1,000 subs, maybe 1,000 subs, and we had like half of the Instagram following, like half of the TikTok following. It was just such a cool moment. I was like, I'm like 17, 18 years old in a Dick's Sporting Goods, and I got this little boy coming up to me. Like, I feel like that's got to be such an awesome moment for you now. You know,
spot. People are just like, "Yo," I'm like, "Yeah, dude, that's me. I'm the wrestler. Yeah, I'm the kid for sure. That's me."
that's got to be awesome, man.
Yeah,
And I'm sure, I think, you just mentioned it. I'm sure that's awesome. That Nebraska home crowd. I'm sure you see the same people wearing the T-shirts every duel, every home duel. I mean, that's got to be awesome.
Yeah, and I always take time. I always make sure to take time after the duel. Like we go have our team meeting. I'll come back out, and I'll be there for like 45 minutes to an hour talking to people, signing stuff, and it's just like you
And I
get to
feel
talk
like
to people every week. Like you get to know them, and it's like these are your people. Like these are your main supporters now. I'm 20 hours from home. Like my parents, my family doesn't get to come to every single duel. They make it to a few of them, but like these are the people that are cheering me on every single week. So it's cool to get to know those people, and yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I know. Like we touched on it a little bit when we talked to, I think it was Dom Bradley and Rocky Elam. And it was when Dom was wrestling at Mizzou and Rocky was this little kid, and he came up to him and he was like, "I'm going to wrestle at Mizzou one day. And I promise you, I'm going to be just as good as you are." And, of course, him thinking this little boy, he's like, "Yeah, yeah, you will." And now he's coaching at Mizzou, and now Rocky's there. It's such a surreal moment, like you have, I'm sure, little kids come up to you all the time after the duels, and who knows, maybe one day you'll see a little Ridge Lovett come out on the mat. One of those kids that
I kind of get that with like the kids that I was on, like when Idaho national teams, when I was going to Fargo and stuff, we go to the Fargo camps, and then we have like the younger kids who like come to the workouts and stuff, come to the practices and like all that stuff for Team Idaho. And it's like now like those kids are being recruited. They're coming to the Nebraska freestyle camp. They're winning Fargo titles. So it's like I kind of get to see it, and it's awesome because it's like I've been friends with these kids since they were like 6 years old. And it's just like they just like be the kids that like follow you around at the tournament, like, "Oh my gosh, like what's up?" And like, I'm like, "Yeah, dude, like what's up, bro?" And now they're being recruited to go D1. And it's awesome. It's crazy to see.
I think it's weird because like 10 years from now, we're going to be seeing what's his name, Jordan Burroughs' son, I think in high school at this point, right? And that's a big one because he was at Nebraska for a while. I mean, obviously it's Penn now, but what's it like having guys like Jordan Burroughs, James Green, Tervel, Delognev in the room?
It's really crazy, honestly. Like it's insane because like when I won the national triple crown when I was like I think I was an intermediate. I don't know how old that makes you, like 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 at the most. And I was like all the triple crown winners get like put on a poster, and I was on a poster with Tervel. It was like when he made a world team or something. I don't remember what it was. It was like the USA Wrestling Events poster. So I knew who Tervel was the longest. And then JB, I had a picture with him that I sent to them. It was hanging on like my senior board. It was a picture of me and JB at Folk Style Nationals when I was in like 6th grade. And it was in 2013, I think. If he won his first one in 2012, right?
First world title was 2011.
Okay, so then it was 2012. He hadn't won the Olympics yet.
Yeah.
He won his world. So like I was a little kid, and now like I'm babysitting his kid. It was like it's crazy. Just getting to know those guys. They're great people. Greasy, like that's my boy. He's a stud. He's a freaking monster. Tervel, he's one of our coaches now. I spend time with him every single day. And they're just great people. They were great to have in the room. It was an honor to get to know those guys, and just trying to carry on that tradition, both collegiately, and hopefully past that.
I want to say Tyler Berger's still in the room a lot, right?
He's at Stanford, their RTC.
Really?
Is that
These guys ever come around often, or are they just where they are?
No, they still come back. Burger, he come. When did he come back? I don't remember what duel it was, but he came home for something because his fiance is from Omaha. So
Yeah.
when she comes back, if he comes back with her, he'll come in the room and work out.
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I mean, we asked, we kind of try to ask this to everybody, but I mean, for you, what was it, I can't speak. What made Nebraska, the choice for you, when you were making your college decision, what was that like for you going through that process? And then what was it, being, okay, I want to go to Nebraska?
Yeah, so it started with after Fargo my junior year of high school. Me and my dad like went and hit a couple schools on unofficial visits because it is so far to travel from Idaho that it was like Fargo, boom, we just got a rental car, Iowa State, Nebraska, Purdue, Illinois, like we just like ran the circuit, hit the East Coast. But like even after my official visit, Nebraska was my unofficial, Nebraska was my number one. Like we went down there, we visited. I was hanging out with the team and I was like, these kids are dope. Like I could definitely be friends with all these guys. And it was like that everywhere. Like all the wrestlers, they were all cool. But I clicked best, I think, with the kids here, with Thompson, Javon, P Rob, Gaona, those guys. And then I came back for my official and at that I had become pretty close with the coaches. I trusted them. I was like, I can wrestle for these guys. Like this is somewhere I could see myself being. And then the facilities, like once I actually got on campus and got the real tour, it's there's nowhere better. I was like, yeah, this is for sure the place. Just it was like the whole package. The team was great, the coaches were awesome, and then the facilities and the way that the athletes are treated here, the fan base, all of that, it was a no brainer for me almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
Rick,
we kind of try to ask everybody this. I mean, so what was it like for you coming from Idaho, a state that's not really a wrestling state? I mean, you don't really hear a lot about, guys coming out of Idaho. So what was that like for you kind of breaking out and being like kind of like an Idaho breakout star, what was that like for you, committing to a Division I school and going to a Big Ten college? And what was that like for you making that transition?
Um, I it was wrestling is wrestling. Wrestling was the one thing that was pretty much the same, honestly. Like my team in high school, like we were tough. We didn't send a whole bunch of kids D1, but like my team was legit. We wrestled year round. We did it for real. And I don't know. It wasn't too difficult. It was I don't know. I didn't really think that the transition was too bad. Wrestling kept me centered. Like my whole life's always revolved around wrestling. So coming here, it was a pretty smooth transition, I thought.
Great to hear.
yeah, so Greco World Team member in 2017. Do you ever see yourself getting back into it?
Yeah, we haven't wrestled a whole bunch of Greco, but I mean, like I still have all those skills. Like I said, wrestling is wrestling. It is different, but um, I've thought about it a few times. I want to wrestle freestyle too, so I don't know. We'll see. I've thought about it, wrestling both at like U23s or something, but we'll see. We'll see.
I think it's 66 for Greco, right? Something like that.
Yeah, and that's the other thing that's frustrating that the weights are different.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm either holding my weight down for one, or it was like I go up for Greco, then I'm like way light for freestyle. It was just I don't know. I don't understand the whole split weight thing. It makes it difficult to wrestle both, but
Yeah.
I think I wrestle more Greco too.
Yeah. I don't know who our guy is at 66 right now. It'd be 67. That's what it is. I think it's Sancho. I want to say.
I don't know.
I'm not sure either, honestly. But what was I gonna say? So I think a couple more of these questions. I think one of them was you get what rematch you're looking forward to most next season.
Um, I don't know. It's probably Yanni. I want to get the Gomez one back, but beating Yanni would be the one.
Have you ever thought too much about the Sasso match in the Big Ten Finals?
Not really. Like I looked at that match and that one to me came down to getting off bottom and I wasn't making enough attempts to actually like escape and get away instead of like going for reversals and trying to cause scrambles. But like I don't know. I would like to wrestle Sammy again too. I want to wrestle all those tough guys. I didn't get to wrestle Sasso or Miran this year, which are two that I was kind of looking forward to. I always
Yeah.
like wrestling the guys, but I would say Yanni's the one that I look forward to wrestling again the most.
Yeah. And another big thing is your team as a whole. I think you have yourself and Labriola that are returning, and I think
Uh,
Peyton Robb too. So you're losing Christian Lance, Eric Schultz, Taylor Venz, and Chad Rett. So like, what's kind of the outlook for the team going forward?
Positive. I feel that the guys that are filling in those spots are phenomenal. I'm not worried about us having like a dip at all. I think that our best wrestling is still yet to come. I think that what those guys have done, they really laid a path for the team that's here now and the guys that are coming forward and recruits coming in that I don't think we're going to skip a beat. I think we're going to keep improving and team trophy is definitely in the near future.
Yeah. So Derek.
Yeah, I mean, I just personally know, I know one of your guys who's there now is, hometown. He's like a hometown hero where I go to school. Lenny Pinto. He's
Sir.
he's a big Stroudsburg kid, and that's where I go to college at. I wrestle for the Division II team up here. So I know he's I talk to his dad a lot. His dad always comes to our duels, and I know he's gonna have a really bright future ahead. So I have no doubt looking at Nebraska's future lineup that they're gonna be just as good, if not better, than what you guys have produced the last couple of years.
Yeah, funny with Lenny. I'm living with Lenny next year. It'll be me, Mikey, Lenny, and then Adam Tebow. We're all moving together. So yeah, it was just Lenny's birthday this weekend too. That's my boy.
Yeah,
But yeah, we
he's a great
have those
kid. Yeah.
special red shirts that are looking to step into the lineup. We're gonna have some spots where wrestle offs are gonna happen. We have tough guys we have tough backups that are trying to break the lineup. We're in a good spot right now.
Yeah, I mean, plus you got to count, the recruits you guys are bringing in as well. I'm sure, we talked a little bit with Buzakis yesterday about the hammers that are going to Ohio State, but I mean, I'm sure Nebraska is getting just as many kids off the big board as well. So
Yeah, I follow our recruiting a little bit. Like I meet almost all the recruits, but it's hard to keep up with it all. There's so many new faces coming in, but like Harley Andrews is tough from Tuttle. Van D just wrestled in the Pittsburgh Classic. And there was like five more that were super tough too. Four more that were super tough. I don't know. We got a tough class coming in too. So
yeah, I mean, but I feel like a lot of people have to be questioning, how do you replace guys like Christian Lance and Taylor Venz and Chad Redd? Like, those are guys who have been household names at the national and, Big Ten level for, years now. So, I mean, what's your thoughts? And I mean, obviously your coach's thoughts on, how do you fill in those holes, of guys that have had such, great careers?
you're gonna have to wait and see. I'm telling you, we're good. We got good things going on, big things coming. Like I said, I think that the best is still in front of us. I don't think we've scratched the surface for sure, but we haven't reached our full potential yet. No doubt in my mind.
So big thing I want to touch on with a few years left in your college career, what are your plans going forward?
I don't know. I kind of take it day by day. I like where I'm at. I like what I'm doing, and I don't know. I'm gonna wrestle and then I'll figure it out from there. But I'm really just focusing on what I got going on now, the college thing. 2 more years, and then we'll see.
What are you majoring in right now?
I'm double majoring in communications and economics, and then I got a couple minors to go along with that. So
Whoa.
pretty
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not your classic sports management or business or interesting. Double major, a couple minors.
got a business minor in there, so we
Hey,
got the business.
usually we hear, you got the athletes or the A&T and the just the business or sports management, communicate, that's cool. That's cool that you kind of gave yourself a solid workload as well as, wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, I'm here. I'm gonna be here the whole time, and then with the COVID, that put it an extra year. So it was like, well, I mean, we can bust out a few more things. I was talking with my advisor the other day. Might finish my master's too before I'm done. So we'll
Wow.
see. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. That's because then, I feel like when you do something like that, you finish your master's degree, you're a step ahead of everybody else. You finish your master's degree while still competing, and now you have a safe backup. You don't just have a bachelor's, now you have a master's just in case, something happens and, wrestling isn't there for, for the future. You still have a master's degree, which that's awesome.
Yeah, so school's good, wrestling's good. I don't know what I want to do when I'm done. Hopefully I'll continue wrestling. That's the plan right now, I think. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think looking at the time here, I think it's time we get into these non-wrestling, half wrestling related questions, because all of his questions are wrestling related. So he could go first, and then I'll end it with the fun ones.
Okay, so in our episode with Christian Lance, I stated that I think there's Spencer Lee and Yanni that are going to go for the 4th national title next year. I said that one of them is going to shit the bed on it. Obviously, Christian Lance said,
Yanni,
you are going to be wrestling Yanni in the national finals, and you're going to hit him with the roll through cradle and pin him. So, I mean, I'll leave that there.
Shoot, I got a roll cradle in the bag. I just need the opportunity. But I mean, I see myself wrestling in the national finals again. If it's Yanni, then I'm not going to be only going for a roll through cradle, obviously, but I'm going out there to win, and I don't know, maybe Vision Quest this shit,
Yeah. And the next one is your top 3 favorite college wrestlers of all time. None of them can be from Nebraska.
Say number 1 is David Taylor.
Okay.
Number 2 is Ed Ruth.
Okay.
Oh shoot. And number 3.
Technically, you can say Tervel.
I could say Tervel. He was a Kearney guy. That's true.
Yeah.
He was in Nebraska.
Yeah.
But probably Bubba J.
Interesting.
I like that.
Big Penn State guy over here. Big Penn State guy. 3,
I was on Bubba J when he went to ASU. That was when he threw up ankle bands and shot him down. I was like, oh my god, this dude's crazy. Did you just see that? I was like, oh, I wanted to wear 2 ankle bands so bad just because he shot him down.
He was going off in my comment sections because like the whole Cale Sanderson thing that went down that year. Everybody was just like saying random stuff, and he was going off about it. And he was like, "I'm gonna make my own documentary about what happened."
Tried to get him on the podcast.
He liked the message. I should have hit him up.
Yeah, we should still. Bubba J, we're coming. You check your DMs.
Yeah. So,
are you got any more? We got any more? Or is it my turn?
Do I have any more? If there's one guy internationally you want to wrestle at 65 kilos, who would it be?
Oh, at 65?
Yeah.
Probably, is it Odaguro?
Yeah.
From Japan?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Like that one?
Or Aliev. Aliev's nasty.
It was nasty, dude. He got teched at Euros
He did.
in the
That
finals. Yeah. I
That
feel like
was
if you
bad.
make it out of the first minute against Musakayev, you can win. That's the only real problem there.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right, Derek, you can get into it if you want.
Oh yeah. Okay. So we got some solid questions here. We are a heavyweight nation. As classic, we're some large men. So we have to ask you a food related question. Number one go-to spot for you to eat in Nebraska. Where is it? Where are you going?
El Chaparro. It's this little Mexican spot. It's like 4 blocks away. Fire. Tacos there, gas. Enchiladas, fire too. It's for real.
Have you eaten the whole menu?
No, I have not eaten the whole menu. I've only gotten like 3 things.
You haven't gone through the menu. You stick to your couple things are good, and that's it.
Most of the time it's just like, yo, you trying to grab tacos? And he's like, yeah, boom. You just hop on there, you call him real quick. Yo, I need 2 orders of 5 tacos. Pull up, boom, you got your
I
tacos.
forgot what Christian Lance said. I want to weirdly say he said that as well. We'll have to go back and look, but I want to say he said that place as well.
If you would have asked him a few months ago, it would have been sushi. My boy got
Sushi.
sick. He went to an all-you-can-eat sushi place, got sick. He said he's never eaten it again.
I mean, $30 for unlimited sushi where I live. We were there for about 3 hours one day
Oh
after
God, no.
watching a JV meet in high school. It didn't end up well.
Yeah, no shot, dude. No way.
I had too many buffet experiences playing defensive and offensive line with the high school football team. After double heat week, we used to just go and just park at the Chinese buffet for like 4 or 5 hours. Like it was to the point where like the waitresses knew our names and like didn't even ask us what we wanted to drink. And they would give us our own section in this back room that was sectioned off from the rest of the restaurant. It was like we were VIPs because like I think we kept the lights on in the building. But we asked this question to everybody, since we started. Could take 4 of your Nebraska teammates with you into the zombie apocalypse to build your super squad. Which 4 are you taking and why?
I'm taking Mikey Labs,
Mm-hmm.
Labriola, because Mikey's a chef. My boy, he's always cooking. He's always in the kitchen chefing something up. So you gotta have Mike. You have the food covered. Kale Davidson. I'm taking Big Kale because he's big. That boy's a hammer. He'll be our go-to for protection. We need a Liam Cronin. Got Cronin, the 25-pounder. That boy's an Energizer bunny and an absolute workhorse. He can do it. Anything we need done, Liam's got it. And then the last one, I got to go with Schultz. I got to take Eric Schultz. That boy walked to Omaha and back with no sleep. He's just a trooper. Yeah. 104 miles.
You walked?
Walked 104 miles.
Why?
I don't know. Because Berger was gonna do it. That's kind of how it seems to me, is that he did it because Berger was gonna do it. Berger made a bet with somebody. They were talking about walking 100 miles, whatever it was. It could have been like a Mary and Joseph walking to Bethlehem 100 miles or something, or it was a David Goggins thing. I've heard a couple stories, but it was one of those. And Berger's like, yeah, I'm gonna walk to Omaha and back. It's 104 miles, blah blah blah. I'm gonna do it with no sleep.
When I first started this page, I made a post saying that when I hit 10,000 followers, I'd run 10 miles and like live stream the entire thing. And then when I hit 26.2K, I'd run a marathon. I deleted the post when I hit like 15,000 followers because I was like, yo, I never thought this was going to happen. And now I'm thinking I might just do a 100-mile hell run if I hit 100K before the end of this year.
Oh, that'd be rough. Those boys
I'm not going to join in with you on that one. You enjoy running 100 miles. I'll drive behind you in the car and make sure you don't die.
I appreciate that.
Of course.
Yeah, they were awake for more than 2 days. I know that.
Oh,
yeah.
Damn.
Because, like, I feel like no matter how athletic you are, eventually your body's going to fatigue. And, like, you're going to slow down.
I mean, in theory, you see, like, these long-distance runners run like 200 miles, but like they'll stop at camps and stuff. If you do 100, that's like 15 hours if you're like an actual experienced runner. I want to say.
And you got to have the right stuff. These dudes,
Yeah.
they were wearing shorts that had like lining inside of them, and they were wearing like tights and compressions. They were chafing. They had all kinds of different issues.
That's horrible.
Well,
Mild,
Ridge,
mild hallucinating from the staying up for 2 days. You know,
oh,
it was
yeah,
it
no.
was going through it.
Well, Ridge, it was a pleasure having you on the show. We appreciate you coming on. We wish, you and the rest of your Nebraska teammates, the best of luck in this upcoming season. And we hope to talk to you again, when you hit a pose with that national trophy in your hand. We want to see it, man. We want to see you hit the pose at the finals after a W. So, we hope to have you back on after you win a national title.
Yes, sir. Sounds great.
Yeah. So, yeah, thank you for coming on. This has been episode 1 of 3 of Late Night Shots. See you guys again next time.